Hi guys, General Splatton here. This is just a video response to GirlPainting's response to my videos on resolution. To begin with, what you see there is just I think the tentative final version of resolution and the scale and the different components of it. The reason I put it up there as I'm talking is that the definition and the name were not used in her response, and she will have so many more viewers than I will. I decided to put it up and do it this way. To begin with, it was stated that this is a system for comparing miniatures to each other in the context presented. That's not completely correct. I do not make the claim that the system is intended to be used to judge one miniature versus another like would be done in a painting contest. It would be foolish to do so, in my opinion, because that's not what resolution is designed to do. Resolution is a system to describe and judge how well technically a figure is painted, and that's all. It is only focused on the how well a miniature is painted. In other words, how good is the paint job? That's what resolution is looking at and designed to look at. What it's judging or looking at is how close can you get to that figure before you notice or see things like brush strokes, uneven blending, clumping of paint, pooling of washes in the wrong areas, uneven blending of paints from one tone to another or color to another. This is what resolution is concerned with. In other words, how close can you hold that miniature before the paint job begins to break down and you see the mistakes, or you see problem areas. Or if it's in the case of the 3-foot gaming quality, the lack of use of advanced techniques as well. So, and where would a miniature, based on its viewing, where would it fall in that scale? I totally agree 100% completely with her talking points. When a person goes to judge a miniature as far as its aesthetic qualities, and that's what she's really talking about there, the aesthetic qualities of the miniature, she starts off with bases. How well does a base support the miniature as far as presentation ability? How well does it harmonize with the figure? Does it compete with focus of the figure? These are things you look at when you're talking about bases, and many others in that. Color composition, color choices, in other words. Do they complement each other in harmonious ways? Or if they're contrasting colors, do they still contrast with each other without clashing? Comic versus realistic styles. Like comparing a Dutch master with a piece of modern art or whatnot. So, looking at those styles, do they appeal to that individual viewing them? Is there one style preferred over another? These type things enter into that, and many others. The uniqueness of a model. How does it stand out from other models of similar styles or similar sculpts? What makes it unique? What sets it apart? Has it been converted? Is the setting something that contributes to the uniqueness of the model? I totally agree with what she's saying there. But all these things now are dealing with a subjective interpretation. In other words, opinion. And she makes that statement several times in that section of the response, in my opinion. And she's totally right, because whenever we look at art, we look at miniatures, we're making a value judgment based upon our opinions. We do that in so many other areas of life, not just art or miniatures. And I totally agree, once again, with what she's saying there. When a judge of a competition goes, he's going to look to all those factors and many others in giving that miniature a score for the contest prizes. totally get that, totally agree. That's what they should do. They should look at many aspects of that miniature. However, resolution is just dealing with the painted quality of that miniature. That's all it's doing. But how can miniatures and art be judged without opinion? We can't do it. There is correlation in the art world with the basis and idea behind resolution, and that is museums and art galleries, I have learned, set minimum viewing distances on many of their pieces. The reason they do that is because the artist has in his stated what the minimum viewing distance is for that piece. In other words, you can come to a certain distance of that piece, but you can't come any closer, because the artist has set, this is how I want my work viewed. So there is correlation to that with between the art world and resolution. Here's how I see and envision resolution working in our hobby. Say a person has a painting service and a potential client calls him up. Well, he's wanting to know about the quality and what he's going to get and how much it's going to cost, what's the time frame involved, how quickly can he get to the miniature, many aspects. But if they both know the definition and scale for resolution, when that client asks him what kind of quality he can expect, that painter can immediately tell him, you'll get a figure that's going to be painted to a resolution of 1 foot. Immediately that client can visualize holding or looking at that miniature from 1 foot if they both know the definition. So this eliminates or helps to eliminate unrealistic expectations, lack of information from the painter to the client. The client can easily make a more informed judgment about, do I want to use this service now, knowing the price and knowing what quality I'm going to get. Also, the painter can help eliminate misunderstandings by telling that client what his resolution is. That the client has a more firm basis point to judge whether he wants to use that service or not based on the information given. Resolution helps him get more detailed information so he can make a better informed buying choice. The painter, like I said, is also protected because he helps to eliminate as much as possible, or just in one more aspect, misinformation, miscommunication, expectations that were not met because of believing that it was supposed to be something else. That is the beauty of resolution. Because all resolution, what we're really talking about here, is for us to talk about our miniatures and describe them to each other in such a way that we can immediately understand what the other is talking about. That's all it is. It's just one more tool that we can utilize when we talk about our hobby and our miniatures. And it can easily find a place within that realm. It's just another tool that we use, just as we would use dry brushing or blending. Resolution is just another tool for describing how well a figure is painted. Well, that's my response. I hope this clarifies to a better degree what resolution is and how it can fit into your hobby. Perhaps you like it, perhaps you don't. But I just wanted to make a response that maybe that clarifies it in another way. It's just another tool we can use in our hobby. This is General Splatton, and I'll talk again.